Hey, what's going on, everybody? So I'm back again, taking another walk in what I believe to be the Garden of Eden, but right now it's not looking like the Garden of Eden. But I remember coming to this place. If this is the place I think it is, I think I came to this place like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and I remember it being just breathtaking. And I was like, I got to come back here again. I got to come and take walks in this place on a regular basis. So just to let you guys know where I am, I'm in Chicago and I'm in South Shore, and this is sort of a nature trail that was set up in South Shore Park, or the South Shore Golf Course, right? So like I said, I came here a while ago, and I just thought it was I thought it was incredible. I thought it was breathtaking. I thought it was absolutely mind-blowing. And I've always been meaning to come back, but it just so happened I never really got a chance to, come back. So it's really a beautiful place, a nice place to take a walk. Just to give you an idea, over there we have the actual lake, so you got the fresh air off the lake, or as fresh as you're gonna get it. And then you're surrounded by trees and nature, so, and now I'm starting to actually hear the birds, so it's a fun place. It's a fun place. So I'm trying to figure out which way to go, because when I was here the last time, I seem to remember a garden, and I'm trying to figure out where that garden is. Maybe if I just walk around a little bit, I'll find it. But definitely a good place to, get some exercise. Definitely a good place to go for a walk. So I thought I'd do that and talk about some things that's been on my mind. Hey, how's it going? All right. So, one of the things I've been thinking about lately is I've been thinking about law and your access to law, or your access to justice, right? Not access to law, but your access to justice. And it's becoming painfully obvious to me that if you don't have any money, you have limited access to justice. I guess if you don't have any money, then you need luck. You need to be lucky enough to come across a resource that will allow lawyers to represent you either pro bono or on contingency. And I always get the contingency part mixed up. From my understanding, when people talk about contingency, they're talking about a situation where a lawyer comes in and misrepresents you. A lawyer comes in and represents you. And then you don't pay them, but you don't pay them up front. And the amount of money that they get or don't get is based on you actually winning the case. So yeah, this is a truly beautiful place. This is, this is a place, if you ever get a date and you want to take a girl someplace special, to me, this is just kind of that place, because you just kind of get away from everything, and you can really get a chance to get to know a person, just by walking and talking. And to me, this seems like the perfect place to walk and talk. But and as a matter of fact, it looks like there's two lovebirds over here anyway. But yeah, this to me seems like the perfect date. I could be wrong. So I don't know if this place is open at night though, right? I think this place is only open in the daytime. I don't know how you would get over here. I do know that police patrol this area pretty heavily. So I'm not sure how you would get over here in the evening, but it would be a good place to come at night. So yeah, so yeah, contingency. If you're not lucky enough to get a lawyer who's going to represent you on a contingent basis, or you're not lucky enough to get a lawyer to work pro bono, and you don't have any money, you're out of luck. And again, just going back to the contingency conversation, my understanding of contingency is where a lawyer is basically providing services for you, and if they win, they get a cut. If you guys lose, they don't get anything, right? So that's my understanding of a contingency-based service, right? But I've actually heard that it's not actually called contingency. I've heard that it's called something else entirely, right? So, but at any rate, if you're not lucky enough to get that, then you're basically screwed. So your only option at that point is to represent yourself. And you could possibly have a chance. You could possibly have a chance. But more often than not, I find that the court system will just conspire against you, right? When I say system, I mean the people in the court and the people who operate the court, the judges, the court clerks, so on and so forth. They'll just conspire against you to make sure that you don't win, which is just kind of tragic in my opinion, because I understand, or I believe that the concept of justice and fairness is that people should have access to justice, and they should have the access to a fair and impartial hearing, no matter whether they can afford it or not. And if you can't afford it, then you don't have access to it. So I just think that's just kind of unfair. I just think that's just kind of unfair in a sense. So what I noticed about the law profession and the legal trade, so to speak, is that everybody is out to get paid. Everybody's out to make money off of you. And I get it. And I don't hate on lawyers. I definitely don't hate on lawyers because, they've gone to school. They spent years and years trying to get this degree in law, and they expect to be able to earn a living from it. So I get that and I respect that. So I have no disrespect. I have no qualms against lawyers. But what I find is that a lot of times when it comes down to law, and when you're dealing with lawyers, you end up in a situation where lawyers are trying to exploit you to get as much money as they possibly can, right? They're trying to get as much money as they possibly can out of you. And in my personal opinion, I think it's really difficult, almost impossible, to find a lawyer who's going to be fair and honest and not try to exploit you. I think that's something really, really, really difficult to do. I think I'm running in circles. I don't know if this is actually the place that I've been to before. I may be mixed up a little bit because I seem to remember a garden here, and I don't see a garden. So I don't know if I'm just going the wrong place. Let me turn around and go back the other way, because I remember a garden. I remember seeing a lot of exotic flowers and exotic trees, things that you typically wouldn't see on the streets of Chicago, but I don't see those now. So I'm gonna head back the other way, and maybe we'll find it. Maybe it's not even there anymore. I don't know. But anyway, so when I notice when it comes down to dealing with lawyers, they're out to get, a lot of them, not all of them, they're out to basically get as much money out of you as they can. They really don't care about your case. They really don't care about your cause. They really don't care about you. The only thing they care about is how much money they can get out of you. And it's kind of difficult. It's kind of difficult finding a lawyer to represent you, and finding a lawyer who's actually going to do a good job, right? So what I find when it comes down to dealing with lawyers, a lot of them is that, in some situations, it may be, they may not necessarily be trying to milk you, but they're stuck or they're caught in their own little paradigm. For example, some lawyers may have a certain routine that they follow when they go to court, and all they're going to do when they take you on as a client, the only thing they're going to do is kind of put you in their will work or put you in their little routine. And basically, if you have something outside of that little routine, if you have something out, I guess routine is not the proper word, but it's the best word that I can think of right now. But their process, right? Maybe their process is probably a better word. But, you know, some lawyers have a process when they go to court, and maybe they have this process because they found that it's worked for them for years. And they're just kind of stuck in that little paradigm, that little process. And when you come along, you may have something that doesn't fit in their little process, and they won't care. They won't care because they're not going to break their routine just because you came along, right? Just because, like, if they really think about it, they'll probably understand that what they're doing is not right. But I just find that most times they have a process, they have a routine, and they're not going to break that because you came along. They have a way of getting money out of you. They have a system. I wonder what beach this is, actually. So this is definitely not Rainbow Beach. It looks like they're establishing this place now because this beach house looks like it's just going up. So I'm not sure which beach house this is, but I guess it's going to be new. It's probably going to be new. Maybe it's going to be the new Rainbow Beach. Like I said, that place just had too many rocks in the sand, and they need to really comb that beach and get all the rocks and the glass and, you know, little detrimental little pieces of debris out of the sand, which I don't even know how you do something like that. I would love to just take my shoes off and walk in this stuff, but I'm gonna pass. Man, it is a beautiful day. You know what? I hope to have many days to be out here every weekend. I'm hoping to come out every weekend to enjoy this. That's my goal. That is my goal. Come out every weekend and enjoy the beach. So, anyway, so getting back to the lawyers. Yeah, so they have a routine. A lot of them have a routine, and they're not going to stop that little routine because that routine is working for them. Just like you wouldn't stop your routine. If you had a routine on how you do your job and how you make money, you're going to stick to that, right? Like if you have a money-making routine and you're constantly winning, and when I say winning, I don't mean winning your case, but you're winning in the sense that you're making money. You're constantly making money with that routine. There's probably nothing on God's green earth that's going to get you out of that routine, right? Unless you're a conscious individual and you realize what you're doing is not working for the people that you're serving, then you may stop and say, okay, well, this is working for me, but I'm really screwing people over by doing what I'm doing, right? So in a situation like that, you might decide to break your routine, but for the most part, most people aren't going to break their routine. It's just not going to happen. So, I don't know. You know, I think there's that. And then, if you're not dealing with a situation like that, you're probably dealing with the lawyer who just wants to milk you. And I've dealt with lawyers a lot. And I believe that I have a system for determining who's trying to milk you and who's trying to actually provide a legitimate service to you. You know, because in my opinion, law or getting service from a lawyer in and of itself can kind of be a crap out. You know, in my opinion, it's kind of a crap out. Yeah, you're trying to get service. You're trying to get some help with your case, and then you go out and you look for a lawyer. And yeah, I'm going to stop recording because it looks like these cops are chilling like a villain, and I don't want to interrupt that. I don't want them to get nervous and get aggressive on me. So I'm just going to stop the video right here, and I'll pick it up once I pass the cop car.